cannot pay, and into prison he is cast. The sheriff is the very one who turns him loose at last.
My lord.
Yes?
The tax collectors.
Send them in. Well, what sort of day have you had? Productive, I trust?
I only wish your trust were better placed, my lord. It's getting harder than ever to get the taxes out of them.
Well, one of the fellows on my rolls couldn't pay at all.
I'm becoming a little tired of these eternal excuses. What did you do to him?
I followed your lordship's instructions and had him arrested.
Good. Who is he?
His name is Will Wheatley, my lord. He's in the Tower prison.
I must admit his condition seemed hard. I honestly believe he hadn't a penny.
What do you propose we should do? Pat him on the head and send him home?
Well, he has a young wife and children. If we gave him a little more time to get his crops in, he might be able to pay.
I see. Your point is well made. In time, I have no doubt we could persuade this Wheatley to pay his debts. But I think I have a better plan.
What is that, my lord?
I intend to put a stop to this anarchy. People must be taught to obey the law. Wheatley will hang.
Going to miss this duck this morning.
They're hanging an innocent man tomorrow morning for trying to defend his own land.
I'd like to strangle them. Every Norman from Prince John down to that tax collector. Let's call the men, Robert.
No, Little John, we can't go to Nottingham in force. We'd lose too many of our men.
And if we don't, Will Wheatley will lose his life.
Perhaps if one man were to try.
No, Robin, no. You'd never get into Nottingham. The sheriff will have special guards at every gate. Our only chance is to force our way in.
There's an old motto our King Richard used to quote. Let your wits be sharper than your enemy's sword.
You alone, Robin? It's too great a risk.
We're never alone as long as we have friends among the people.
Wait, Robin, I won't let you do it.
Quiet, you great ox. There goes my pass into Nottingham. One moment, friend. All we want is your meat and your horse and cart.
Take them then.
And your clothes, but at a fair price.
Take anything you want. Is that your idea of bargaining?
I'd rather lose my meat than lose my life.
I'm afraid he's in no condition to do business. Why don't you bargain for the fellow, and we'll see whether we can arrive at a fair price.
Gladly. He needs the help of a shrewd trader.
Suppose we say £3 altogether.
£3? Only £3 for this sturdy cart and this noble steed.
Tell you what I'll do. £4 and my clothes for his.
£6 and not a penny less. This is prime beef and mutton.
£4 and 10 shillings.
Take your custom elsewhere.
Very well, £5 and that's my last offer.
And 10 shillings.
£5, not a penny more.
Miser! Highway robber! Away with you, we'll do no business with you. Be quiet! We'll make a fair bargain or none at all.
£5 and 5 shillings. Done.
What about butcher's clothes for me?
You'll go back to the forest. Unfortunately, your figure doesn't lend itself to disguise. Oh, morning.
Make a search. Someone could be hidden in the back.
Looking for somebody?
Outlaws.
Oh, heaven help you find them. It's getting so an honest man can't bring his meat to market without fear of having some of it stolen on the way.
Nothing there.
Come on, get up.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yea. By the order of my lord, the Sheriff of Nottingham, for crimes committed against the realm, in that he did fail to pay his taxes, Will Wheatley shall publicly be hanged by the neck until he is dead. This sentence shall be executed at sunset.
Ladies, your Douglas.
Mind your backs, please. You're a soldier.
Now, my dear, what about a nice cut from there? 4p a pound. Only 4p a pound.
2p a pound. Fine prime beef, 2p a pound. Fine fresh beef here, 2p a pound. The best beef in the... I've got the very thing for you, my lass. This lovely piece of English prime beef.
All that? Oh, no, I can't afford it.
The price to you is 1 kiss.
One for all that beef?
Perhaps it is short measure. I hope to have your custom again, my dear.
You'll put us out of business.
It's not going to put me out of business.
There ought to be a law against it.
Like it's not a stolen meat. I'm all for breaking your skull.
Come along, my masters. Fine beef and... Ah, back again.
I told my friend about your prices, and she would like a bargain like me.
Oh, I don't charge the same rates to everybody.
But she has even less money than me. She's a poor widow.
A widow? Well, why didn't you say so before? My meat's free to widows.
Bless you.
Fine beef, 2p a pound, only 2p a pound. Prime beef at 2p a pound.
What are you trying to do? Start a riot?
Naturally.
I'd hoped you were in time to save Will Wheatley.
I am.
It'll do him little good if you're arrested.
I can think of no quicker way of getting an audience with his lordship, the sheriff.
It's a strange piece of logic, Robin Hood, to rescue a prisoner by becoming one yourself.
It's a strange piece of logic, Friar Tuck, to reform the sinners in the tavern by becoming one yourself. Now, if you'll stand aside and let the riot proceed.
I'll do better than that.
Fine beef at only a penny a pound. Come along, everybody. A penny a pound. The best beef in the market. For you, sir, £4.
The troll deserves a thrashing.
But you said violence is a sin.
Did I? Oh, but the scriptures often show that deeds can be more effective than words. Follow me.
Penny a pound.
Hold! In the sheriff's name. What's the trouble here? Oh, good father. Did you see who started it? Which of these rascals is to blame?
This man. I think he's selling stolen meat.
Yes, sir. Take him. How are you?
For the poor.
So you claim that you're innocent of starting a riot?
Unless it's a crime in merry England to sell meat at low prices.
The question is, where did the meat come from?
Ah, so that's all you want to know.
It's a good beginning.
Then let us begin there. You must understand, however, that the information you seek is a private matter.
Wait outside until I call him.
Ah.
Is my wine to your liking?
Very pleasant. Taxes must be coming in well this year.
You don't talk like a butcher.
I'm not a butcher.
I thought as much. Which brings us to my question.
Where does my meat come from? The answer to that is in two parts. The beef all came from cattle. The mutton, on the other hand, came from sheep.
I'll stand no more of your insolence. Answer the question.
I have a large herd of horned beasts at my disposal.
A large herd, eh? Would you have, say, 100 of them ready for market?
Certainly, whenever I need the money. And somehow or other, I always seem to need money. I suppose it's because I like to live well.
If these animals belong to your father, he might go to court for their recovery.
He might, if he were able. There are many brave knights in the Holy Land now with King Richard.
Yes, there are. And their sons make merry in their absence, eh? How much would you sell 100 head for?
To your worship. Whatever you thought was a fair price. I never bargained.
20 pounds?
I've never had that much money at one time before.
Mind, I shall not hand over a farthing until I've seen the beasts.
Fair enough. Ride out with me and I'll show them to you today.
Understand, I'm not releasing you until our bargain is settled.
Well, naturally.
Howard?
Yes, sir?
I'm going on a short journey.
Yes, sir. Will you be back in time for the hanging?
If not, proceed without me.
We must hurry. I should hate to miss that. Riding through the forest?
Why should I?
They say these woods are full of outlaws.
That need not concern you. I have them well under control.
How lucky I am to be with you, my Lord Sheriff.
Me.
We must approach my home with caution.
Perhaps you prefer that your father's bailiff shouldn't know you're selling his cattle, hmm?
Perhaps.
Welcome to Sherwood Forest, gentlemen.
In whose name do you welcome travelers to the King's hunting preserves?
Why, in the name of Robin Hood. Who else?
Robin Hood? Why, I'm glad you're here to protect me.
Out of the way, knave.
You!
Help me teach this insolent giant a lesson.
I have no weapon, and besides, I hate fighting. Well struck. A pretty contest.
I thought you hated fighting.
I love to watch it.
My sword, you fool, quick!
We spare us, we surrender. But it was a pretty piece of work. My Lord Sheriff is no mean swordsman.
Quiet, you fool. You'd best not try to harm me or your own life will be forfeit. And yours, too, for leading me into this. Cattle, indeed.
But there's plenty of cattle here. Look yonder.
The deer belong to the king.
In Sherwood, we dine like the king, off the best venison.
You're Robin Hood.
I've been your guest, my Lord Sheriff. Now it's your turn to be mine.
Hey, look who's coming, Hal.
The Sheriff of Nottingham himself.
Robin.
Have you told our guest about our local custom?
No, not yet. You see, we're not very wealthy here, so our custom is the guest pays for the dinner. Oh, it's a very simple custom, really. Just half of whatever the guest has in his purse.
Half. I have £4. So you rob me of 2.
What about that £20 in gold you promised to bring to pay me with?
£20? Here, let me see that purse. Perhaps you haven't got a very good head for figures. Well, there's more than £20 here. You should have paid more attention to your schooling. You see, when a guest makes a mistake, we keep the lot.
It's an outrage.
I don't think it's fair either.
What?
He thought he only had £4 and that he would be left with 2. So the fair thing would be to give him back £2.
Why, of course. Why didn't I think of that? There you are.
We don't like any of our guests to feel that he hasn't had just treatment. You have a guest in Nottingham Town, Will Stutely.
Stutely? He's a common criminal who's going to be hanged.
Here we reserve hanging for uncommon criminals.
His crime, as you call it, was not having enough grain to pay your taxes.
Yours was worse. You imposed the tax.
Stutely's your guest, just as you're ours. You'll both receive exactly the same treatment.
So if he goes free, that means I do, too.
Certainly.
Let me ride home, and I promise that Stutely shall be pardoned.
How do we know you'll keep your promise?
My word as a Norman gentleman.
Nothing but that.
You must send word to have Stutely set free.
And what assurance would I have that you would keep your promise to set me free?
My word as a Saxon outlaw. You will write that each side is to bring its prisoner to a place appointed for the exchange.
The place shall be just outside the town gates. I want no more of your forest tricks.
As you will. Each prisoner to be accompanied by one man only, unarmed.
Agreed. And I trust that you will be the one to accompany me.
I was about to propose that myself.
Now, right.
committed against the realm.
Show themselves till the sheriff's safe.
So this is the way you keep your word.
You have my lieutenant to thank, not me.
Then call off your man. It was your word we trusted.
A mistake on your part, Robin. A word given to an outlaw means nothing. I prefer to take you alive, Robin. But if you don't give yourself up by the time I count 3, you'll die where you stand. 1. 2. Out of the way, Father! Out of the way! You're shielding an outlaw! Shoot! Shoot, you blockheads!
I can't see which are outlaws and which are mourners.
Shoot!
I can't. I'll hit the priest.
Don't stand there like statues!
Then follow me. Quickly, men, to the gates.
Get on the horse.
The sheriff's made another outlaw for our band, they will. I'm with you, if you'll have me, Robin.
Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood. He called the greatest archers to a tavern on the green. They vowed to help the people of the king. They handled all the trouble on the English country scene and still found plenty of time to sing. Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood.